Hey, welcome to the lab. Today's topic is a pretty neat new plugin that I've had the joy of trying out called the Spaghetti Detective. This plugin uses machine learning to find failed prints. You know, the ones that look like a plate of colorful spaghetti. And using a simple webcam and pausing the print to save your precious time and money automatically. I've been using it for the past few weeks and my beta trial to use the service has ended. I'm not 100% sold on paying for a subscription yet, as there's a bit more that I think the software needs to do before I'd consider paying for it. But fortunately for everyone, the software is open source and available online. Link in the description below, which is where we'll be starting today. Here's a video tutorial on how to install it on a regular Windows 10 install, since unfortunately this requires more grunt than a simple board like a Raspberry Pi can provide. I'm a complete novice when it comes to using Docker, but I'm a triple black belt master when it comes to Google Foo, so I was able to stumble through it with less than 5 minutes of total Googling. Let's get rolling. Once you click the link below, you'll be greeted by their GitHub page. This contains most of the steps that we'll need to complete installing our detective. The first item on the list is to install Docker. I initially tried out this tutorial on Windows 7 and was greeted with a silent install failure. After some Googling, I found it's probably not going to work without installing this on Windows 7. If you're currently rocking Windows 7, I think you're SOL for the time being. You'll have to create an account and download Docker Desktop for Windows, which is around 500 megabytes. One thing to note is that on Windows, Docker Desktop includes Compose, so you shouldn't have to install any extra packages. Once Docker Desktop is installed, you'll have to log off and log back on again to initialize the install. On my computer, I needed to enable hardware-assisted virtualization in the BIOS. Consult your user manual and/or Google to figure out how to do that for your computer in the BIOS. Once that was all ready, you can enable the shared drives as in the install instructions. You'll need to log into your user account on your Windows computer to allow access to the drives. This is something that was missed from the original instructions, and I don't know of a single Windows build that's come with Git pre-installed. You'll need to install Git. I use the one in the link below with all the default settings. Once Git is installed, launch the window, or use the same command in PowerShell to download the repository as listed by the instructions on the GitHub page. After you clone the repository, run the command that's listed on the GitHub page, making sure to replace the CD folder with the full folder that you actually downloaded it to. Mine was located in my user folders as the Spaghetti Detective, so substitute whatever you have in. After that, it'll run for a while. While that's humming, take the time to enable SMTP access. I use Gmail and follow the link provided on the page. Essentially, you'll go from your Google account to account settings, security, and then enable less secure app access, and you should be good to go from there. Now that you've downloaded a whole bunch of stuff from the installed it all, mine took around 20 minutes or so, it's time to actually configure the server and point your Octoprint plugin to find it. Find out what your local computer IP address if you're planning for it to be on your LAN, or find out what your WAN IP is if it's going to be a remote server. I'm just doing it for my local server, and my local in this case is 192.168.0.139. In your favorite browser, navigate to the highlighted text substituting your IP for your server IP in the example. Log in using root@example.com as the username and the password supersecret. This information is also on the GitHub documentation. Click Sites and change the domain name to yourip:3334 without any prefix or suffix. Name your display name to whatever you feel like. Navigate to the folder we found earlier, open the docker-compose.yml using whatever your favorite editor is, and edit email host user, and email host password if you're just using Gmail with the appropriate information. Then hit save. With that, the server portion is complete. Now onto pointing your Octoprint install to use your local server. I'll assume that you follow the instructions on TSC's website to get the plugin installed. Expanding the advanced dropdown, hit the I have my own TSD server button and enter in the IP that we worked with before, complete with the prefix and a suffix you'd normally see when opening a web browser. The last thing that I found that was missing from the configuration of your local server is to generate a new secret token. From the administration browser page, navigate to View Site, hit Add Printer, configure it however you'd like, I just want it to email me for now, and hit Next. This will generate the new secret key, which you can copy and paste back into the plugin field, test, and see if you're properly set up. If you don't have any network shenanigans in the backgrounds, you should be good to go, and this will be the last step you need to make. I'll make a video later detailing some more of my thoughts on this pretty neat project. If there's any desire for a new Ubuntu specific tutorial, I'll be happy to make one and share it. If this helped you out, hit the like button, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos. If you have any other questions, I'll do my best to help them out in the comments below. I've also included a PayPal link in the description if you want to toss a few dollars my way towards my next project. If you want to support the original creators, just go and subscribe to the service and get the same benefits of your own server. As always, thanks for watching. Hasta la bye bye.